Good morning, SV friends. Today I want to narrate an incident that happened in the life of John Wesley, the great revivalist and the founder of the Methodist Church in England. He was influenced by a group of people called the Moravians. He used to travel often to the Americas, and he met a few people who had profound impact on his life. They were the Moravians, and they used to travel the North Atlantic, which had huge storms. And he describes the Moravians being calm through it. They seemed not afraid of death. It is recorded in his diaries. He has written extensively about them from the years 1736 to 1738. So this incident of them being not afraid was recorded on 25th January 1736. And he describes the difference between them and the English. The English were crying out, seeing the storm, but they were singing. And he went and inquired of them, "Are you not afraid of death? Are your women and children not afraid of death?" They said no. So he attributes it to an unwavering belief and trust in God. We see many parallels in the Bible. One is in the life of Mary and Martha. Mary and Martha in the same house. They have a throng of guests, Jesus and his disciples. And Mary, she goes and sits at the feet of Jesus. She listens calmly to him. And Martha, she is running around, preparing things for Jesus. And she, at one point, she gets angry and she says, "Lord, are you not seeing that my sister is not helping me?" Then Jesus tells her, "Martha, you're worried about so many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen the better part, and it will not be taken from her." Same thing we see in Mark chapter 4, where Jesus, along with his disciples, they were traveling the Sea of Galilee, and they were in a big squall, a huge storm, and Jesus was sleeping, and the disciples call him, "Are you not worried? Do you not care that we die?" And he rebukes them. He rebukes the storm as well. He tells, "Oh, you have little faith." Same thing, we see a sense of calm in the life of Peter. He was arrested by Herod, who wanted to prove a point, who wanted to show the Jewish world. He was very happy that they were so happy that he executed James, the brother of John, and he wanted to do the same thing with Peter after a public trial. Acts chapter 12, Peter is unwavered. He is sleeping. Can we even imagine? In Acts chapter 16, we see Paul and Silas. They were imprisoned because they drove out a soothsaying demon from a girl, and they are singing hymns. So we see so many reactions from different people. So the Moravian missionaries, a brief introduction about them. They were the first Protestants. They were Protestants about 50 years before the Luther had the Reformation, and they had a great revival among them. When they first started out, they just protested the wrong practices in the Catholic Church, but they had a huge revival, something similar to what happened in the day of Pentecost. And after that, they named it as the Unity of Brethren, and it's called Herrnhuter in German. And they were actually from Czech Republic, who were persecuted, and then they moved to Bavaria and then to Saxony. So that is where they were based from. They have sent so many missionaries throughout the world. They were the first Protestant group to send out missionaries. So what can we do seeing these things? What lesson can we learn? We can see that in Philippians chapter 4 and verses 6 to 7. It talks about, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving let your requests be made known to God." and the peace that passeth all understanding will guard your hearts and minds in Jesus Christ. So, but our hearts and minds, sometimes when we see problems, we want to solve it. We are afraid of it. We are anxious about it. But prayer, sometimes we do, sometimes we do not. But make it a practice to go to God in prayer in whatever the situations, however stressful the situations are. And you will find a peace that passeth understanding. It does not satisfy logic, because ideally you should be anxious. But you will have a peace that passeth all understanding. Normally when we are asked to pray, our mind tells us it's not needed. But we need to love the Lord our God with all our mind and with all our soul, with all our strength. So we should discipline our bodies. We should take all thoughts into captive and train it to love the Lord and redeem time. If you've seen Ephesians 5 verses 20, it tells sing in hymns and songs to each other, exhort each other. So that is totally very much different from what a logical mind would do. So let us be filled with the peace that passeth understanding in all situations. May God bless you all.